After summoning the Midnight Man, Tom Collins found himself out of Mary Finch's mansion, but he lost contact with Margarita Beam and me, Dragmarius Vardlocker. I was able to watch Tom in my dreams, but I could not wake up to leave the house. So, I couldn't help him or join him to find a way to go back to our real world. Tom Collins didn't know what to do when he was out of the manor. A mysterious man driving a luxurious futurist car stopped at Tom's side. Tom got confused about this because all the environment and the mansion surrounding him were very old, ancient. So, he may expected to find a horse chariot, not a sport futurist car. The man, dressed in black, had a red mask covering his face and made him a sign to get in the car, and Tom jumped into the vehicle. "I need to take my friends out of the mansion," Tom said. "I'll grant your wish if you win the 11-mile race, but have in mind the stakes are high." Curiosity got the best of Tom Collins, and he decided to try it out. Once again, since the three friends were lost in the nightmare of the virtual games dimension, Tom was living in a long, infinite night. The masked man exited the car but previously instructed Tom about the game's rules. Tom Collins began to drive. There were no other cars on the road. He found a back road inside dense woods and began driving down the desolate roads until his intuition told him he had found the 11-mile road. As Tom Collins started his drive down the road, he noticed nothing unusual at first. It was just a quiet drive through the forest, and he was wondering if the race was all a hoax. However, as Tom reached the 3rd mile, he started to see movement around him. He didn't take his eyes off the road and kept driving as instructed. As Tom reached the 5th mile, the trees started to diminish, and he could see a lake in the distance. It looked peaceful, and he was tempted to stop and take a break. But he remembered the instructions and kept driving. The 6th mile was particularly eerie. The stars disappeared, and the trees seemed to close in around him. His headlights were flickering, and the car's radio started playing strange static. Tom Collins was getting nervous, but he reminded himself to keep driving. As Tom reached the 8th mile, his headlights started to flicker more and more. It was becoming harder to see in front of the vehicle, but he knew he couldn't stop driving. Suddenly, the car stalled, and Tom panicked. But he remembered the instructions and closed his eyes until the car started again. Tom Collins slammed on the gas and kept driving. The 9th mile was terrifying. Tom Collins could hear voices coming from the backseat, but he didn't dare turn around. Tom kept his eyes on the road and his foot on the gas pedal. As Tom reached the 11th mile, the car stalled again in front of a red light. He felt something grabbing at him, and he could hear voices whispering in his ear. Tom closed his eyes tightly and covered his ears, ignoring everything until the car started again. Finally, Tom reached the end of the road, and he made his wish. He envisioned his deepest desire and checked his backseat. To his surprise, Tom found what he had wished for. Margarita and me, Dragmarius, were there, sleeping or unconscious. He didn't know because they didn't answer when he was calling their names. The three of all were out of the mansion, but Margarita and me seemed to be dead. Tom began to cry. We were lost in the middle of a weird, dark road. Tom Collins didn't realize that I was dreaming of all his adventure, and I was trying to wake up. When I, Dragmarius, woke up from dreaming of Tom's escape from the mansion, I was still in the old room, in the old bed, but aware of Tom Collins trying to save us, our bodies, our souls. At that moment, I realized that looking for Frove was not a virtual game nor a computer hoax. Instead, I had become a powerless warlock summoned by a couple of crazy youngsters, and I had to leave the mansion as soon as possible. Suddenly, I woke up screaming in the middle of the night. Mary Finch was by my side, along with her butler.